If you're in a long-term marriage and you have chronic illness, consider that you're being poisoned by your partner. They can do it in all kinds of ways, all kinds of undetectable ways. And it took me years to figure out, but it was actually the catalyst of me leaving, was finally figuring out that I was being poisoned. So how I found out was, one, my doctor would say, "Why are you always sick on a Friday? It's so odd. I don't have any other patients that have a pattern to their illness." And I just chalked it up to anxiety. Second of all, I went away on a trip, so I wasn't around him for 1 whole month. During that trip, I ingested by accident some mannitol. And I got so sick, the same way that I got sick when I was at home. And I knew it was the mannitol because I'm allergic to mannitol, any of the toll sugars I'm allergic to. And the third thing was we went to therapy, and in therapy, he told the therapist, who refused to see us after this, that he fantasized about poisoning me. So he was just saying it out loud as a possibility. But that was happening. So if you're in a marriage or a long-term relationship or in a relationship and there's any kind of pattern to your illness, you have chronic illness, consider you're being poisoned. Ingested by accident some mannitol. And I got so sick, the same...
This is why I stopped telling men about my allergies. I'm pretty sure we all heard that urban legend. It's actually a forensic case somewhere where the guy and the girl were in a long-term relationship and he wanted to get rid of her and she was deathly allergic to peaches and he smeared organic peach shampoo all over the doorknobs in their apartment and she went into anaphylaxis. We've all heard that story. What they didn't say is there's an actual true crime story of a mother who wanted to get rid of her daughter, who fed her daughter peanut candy on purpose. Probably some form of Munchausen's or something like that. And the kid passed away, if I'm not mistaken. But this is why I don't tell men about my allergies, because men already use your stories against you, so they will surely use your allergies against you too, to kill you.
Every day, Obedi talk about mama. It's not enough. Feminism is not enough. You see the way that you are indoctrinated into religion. Every day you go to church, every day you pray. That is how you subconsciously grew. And anytime you want to do anything, you say, my Jesus will not allow. My Jehovah will not allow. You as a Muslim, you are going to Islamia every day. You pray 5 times a day. You observe your Ramadan. You do your fasting. They have indoctrinated you so much that you cannot separate yourself from your religion. That is how I want us to be indoctrinated to feminism, that you cannot separate yourself from feminism. Ha! Ayebo, ayeba. Help me look at the statistics. We don't need feminism anymore, according to men. Patriarchy isn't a problem, according to men. It's not all men, according to men. Obi, you talk about men. I never start. By the time I finish with you, by the time I finish with you, you will become a minority. You're going to become minority. Do you know how to buy a woman without leaving a trace was Googled 163 million times last year? Igwe don't get award. No award. In 2025, 163 million men Googled how to buy a woman without leaving a trace. Hey! My Muslim people say, Subhanallah, Visibillah. He is going to buy me was Googled 107 million times by women. We don't need feminism. You are telling me that we don't need feminism? You are telling me, you open your mouth and say we don't need feminism? I need all of you women to be feminists. I want you to put it back to the point, you get to a point, there are some things a man will say, you say my feminism will not allow. You see the way you say my religion will not allow. My God will not allow. I need people to say my feminism will not allow. Because we have not started. I need powerful women rising up against misogyny. I need powerful women rising up against misogyny. Enough is enough. 163 million men in 2025 Google how to buy their wives, partners, girlfriend without leaving a trace. Jehovah, I throw away salute to. I throw away salute to. Feminism, your feminism is not enough. If you think you're radical, you're not radical enough. If you think you're talking, you're not talking enough. I need people to let feminism be on the ears of everybody, every woman, every day, be talking about it. Be talking about it until something is done. You know the way Christians say, I pray until something happen. Push. Feminism until something happen. Push.
Her spouse was poisoning her. Okay, so she's like, if you're in a long-term marriage and you have chronic illness, you need to take into consideration that your spouse might be poisoning you, because mine was. I'm sorry, what? I was like, back it up, what? So she has an allergy, I guess, to maltitol. Maltitol is like a sugar substitute. She started going to her doctor to see what was going on, blah, blah. He's like, why are you always sick on a Friday? The doctor noticed this. He noticed the pattern. She's like, I don't know. And then she's like, well, maybe it's anxiety. In the end, the doctor worked with her to try to figure this out. And she is very allergic to this. So she ended up going out of town for a month, didn't get to see her husband at all, accidentally ingested some of this maltitol. She's like, this is exactly how I feel at home. Her and her husband went therapy, couples therapy, and he even told the therapist, I've thought about poisoning her. Both her and the therapist are like, what? And the therapist, I guess, said, I'm not going to work with you two anymore. I'm going to find out. This is what he was doing to her. He was giving her this sugar substitute, knowing doggone well that she's allergic to this. Now, I don't know if it could, you, or if it just makes you sick, but he was intentionally doing this to hurt her. She's now since divorced, but has been going through a lot of therapy. You never truly know who you marry.
Imagine being married to a man and you find out that he's poisoning you. I watch a lot of true crime, so obviously I hear about this on true crime, but the fact that this just hit my For You page, in hearing a woman have an allergy to maltitol, which is a type of like synthetic fake sugar, and the fact that that was being used to harm her by her own husband is crazy. This is why I do the work that I do. A man asking you to marry you is not enough. A man getting you pregnant is not enough. A man spending money on you is not enough. These men could check off all the boxes that you think would guarantee you receiving love for them. They will do all of those things and they will stop at nothing to hurt you. Even if they do it in this very like mild manner slowly over time just to get you fucking sick. A lot of women are married to their ops and they don't realize it. These men are hiding money from you. These men are lying about their finances. These men are communicating with other women behind your back. These men are poisoning you behind your back. These men are doing such nefarious things, itty bitty, over time that you will not realize. A lot of these men, they want to get off knowing that they're doing something to you and you have no knowledge of it. They love being able to have their own inside joke with themselves, knowing that they are doing something at your detriment and you have no clue about it. Like, you have to think about this. You have to think about the fact that you're with your husband. Your husband is sitting here hearing you say, you know, I don't feel good. I just don't feel good. And having to repeatedly hear your partner say, I don't feel good. That is a mental illness. You, as a person, you can sit there and make somebody sick, and then you also can hear someone that you claim to love, see them be unwell, see them talk about being sick, and then see them be so confused, so filled with anguish, so filled with confusion because they're repeatedly getting sick and they're trying to fill out why they're sick. And you know deep down inside, you're the reason why they're sick. And you can just sit there and pretend that like everything is fine and that you're not playing a fucking role in this. That shit is a sickness. It's an illness. It's crazy. And they will play the role so good that you will never think for a second that they're the reason why you're fucking sick. You will never think for a second that the reason why you're sick every Friday like her is because your husband is poisoning you because he knows that you have an allergy to something that he can obtain in order to make you sick.
I was like, back it up, what? So she has an allergy, I guess, to maltitol. Maltitol is like a sugar substitute. She started going to her doctor to see what was going on, blah, blah. He's like, why are you always sick on a Friday? The doctor noticed this. He noticed the pattern. She's like, I don't know. And then she's like, well, maybe it's anxiety. In the end, the doctor worked with her to try to figure this all out. And she is very allergic to this. So she ended up going out of town for a month, didn't get to see her husband at all, accidentally ingested some of this maltitol. She's like, this is exactly how I feel at home. Her and her husband went therapy, couples therapy, and he even told the therapist, I thought about poisoning her. Both her and the therapist are like, what? And the therapist, I guess, said, oh, I'm not going to work with you two anymore. I'm going to find out. This is what he was doing to her. He was giving her this sugar substitute, knowing doggone well that she's allergic to this. Now, I don't know if it could, you, or if it just makes you sick, but he was intentionally doing this to hurt her. She's now since divorced, but has been going through a lot of therapy. You never truly know who you marry.
She found out that her husband had been slowly poisoning her. Her name here on TikTok is Josephine's Garden. And she had been married for a long time. And she realized that her husband had been slowly poisoning her. When you think you have seen it all, you see what. So let's just summarize this her story. So Josephine had been married to this man for a very long time. Long-term marriage. But then every Friday, she falls sick and she goes to the hospital. Like, it started getting fish, even when her doctor was telling her that you are the first patient that has a pattern of getting sick and you get sick only on Fridays. And it's because her husband only poisons her Friday so that he can watch her suffer because he goes to work during the week. So he's at home throughout the weekend. So he can be at home watching her suffer. So when the doctor said that, it was a little bit strange. So she said maybe she's having anxiety during the weekend. But it continued. Until one time, she traveled. She spent 1 month away from her husband. And her usual Friday sickness did not happen. But then, she knows something that she's allergic to. I've forgotten the name, but you can go and check on her page. But while she was on that trip, someone gave her that same thing she's allergic to. And when she ate it, she fell sick. So then I like, oh, you ate this. Oh, I'm allergic to this. Then it now clicked that this same reaction I'm having is what I have every Friday back at home. This same sickness, feeling like I'm dying. I go through it every Friday back at home. It still did not click. They went to family therapy, she and her husband. And her husband, by the way, the therapist stopped seeing them after the session. The husband told the therapist that he used to fantasize poisoning her. But he wasn't just fantasizing because he has been doing it. And after a long while, Josephine found out that her husband is not just fantasizing, but yeah, he has been doing it. And that was when it was confirmed that this man was literally feeding her what she was allergic to, something that used to almost strangle her every weekend. And he was enjoying watching her suffer every weekend before he can go back to work on Monday. Then in the comment section of that video, another woman was explaining how her own husband used to bring her coffee. And she thought it was love, not knowing that he was poisoning her gradually.
through the coffee. He would make out time, make fantastic coffee, poison the coffee, and give it to her. Like he wanted to buy her slowly but surely. When you think you've seen it all.
So guys, I hope you've watched the channel. I mean, not the channel, I hope you just watched the video. Guys, if you have a different of opinion, please guys put it in the comment section. So guys, it's quite sad. I mean, I've not been shocked like this in a while. When I hear people's stories, I mean, I've been shocked but not shook. I don't know, I do believe there's a difference, you know, but wow. I mean, it's not a laughing matter, but seriously, wow. Like, how can you, because like, you see guys, this is what I've just been talking about it, like, to myself. Like, this is why I talk about how weird society is and how society treats the single mother and how society treats women who choose to separate from their marriages. Guys, are you seeing the cost? Are you seeing the cost of what it means being in a marriage that's not healthy, but you are just there because you are trying to play by the rules of society? See, I'm trying not to like shout, like just shout, like let it out, because you know, I'm in an apartment building and I don't want, I don't want my neighbors to start making noise. But wow, like it's like something in me that just wants to shout because of how traumatizing the story is. Like, I'm having the restraint not to start speaking angrily. Like, how can you poison somebody whom you call your dear wife for many years and because you want to see her suffer? And guys, of course, if you've watched the whole video and I'm just giving my thoughts on it, you'll know from the story that he only does it on Fridays. So because he wants to see her suffer. I've got no words. I do not have no words. You know, see, I'm just lost for words. I mean, I was just talking to myself that, should I be traumatized, or should I just be traumatized, and that instead of me having some like I don't know, let me just like I'm just choosing to have some trauma. That's better for me to have trauma and learn than not to have trauma at all, and I like it be at my own risks. And guys, not only this, before I even start like talking about the video, I've just watched a TikTok where someone said, like, oh, you know what? This has just given me an idea. I'm going to stitch a video. Yeah, I'm going to put it now at the beginning of the video. It's just give me an idea. I just watched a video where a woman by the name of Bide, she's a Nigerian feminist. She was like very, very highly involved in one movement called the Uchanya movement, where, guys, it was just a very gruesome story. I don't want to go into the details, but it just, oh my God, guys, what the fuck? Like, I've just realized that woman was talking about how men search on the internet on how they want to like harm women. About there have been 100 and something search on the internet on how to harm women. Like, are you for real? How can you sit on your computer and search on how to kill your wife without a stretch, or how to harm your wife without a stretch, without people actually knowing what happened to her? I mean, it was just a few months ago that a pastor's wife's body was found in the bushes. I'll say a fake pastor, because I mean, like, come on now, like, seriously, like, sometimes I'm just like, wow, like, really wow, like, wow, like, how can people be so comfortable with just having that thing just there? Like, they're just so comfortable with, you know, with being in a position where they can actually do that to their spouses, especially men. 167 million men searched on how they could harm their wife without a stretch, or kill their wife without a stretch, without people finding out. Wow, guys, that is scary, man. That is fucking scary. Because you might be in a relationship and your boyfriend may be one of them. So it's better for me to be traumatized now than to be, oh my God, guys, wow. Like, it's better to be traumatized now and learn. So I said to myself that I'm going to first of all traumatize myself and learn than for me not to even have the opportunity to be traumatized and you know, and be a victim of circumstances. Wow. I was just ranting to myself that I just get angry how society expects a woman to be able to, you know, be comfortable with they're comfortable with, let's say, actually not wanting to be separate from their husbands, and society shaming single women for having children and raising those children as their own. They shame single mothers. Guys, how can we be so daft as a society that we shame single mothers into believing that what they did, the responsibility they have chosen to carry out, is a result of them being foolish, and it's a result of them not being wanting, like, playing a part in breaking up a family? Guys, see, at this point, we need to be sincere with ourselves as a whole in the society and ask, like, why do we shun this woman? Like, I think I'm gonna do a deep dive on this baby mama culture and the single mother culture. I think there's a lot you guys are gonna be expecting on this channel, because there's just a lot to talk about society. Seriously, I'm just, I'm just like, wow. See, guys, like, this is why. Guys, this is why I always say my stuff, that I don't want to talk about this feminist stuff. I don't want to talk about all these things that interact with, like, every case I bring up on this channel. I don't want to talk about feminism, but guys, it's happening. It's real stories that happen. It's real stories that happen. Maybe I'll also start talking about football and everything. But even if you want to, like, do a deep dive into the pay disparity between female players in a certain sport and male players in a certain sport, it still largely has to do with all these it still largely has to do with how women, the patriarchy, and how women have been treated in society, and also feminism. Yes, feminism. Yes, I said it. Wow. Okay, guys, bye bye. Yeah, please drop your comment in the comment section, and you guys have to be very respectful, okay? Because this is a very, very sensitive topic. Seriously, I appreciate your opinion, okay? Yeah, I appreciate your opinion, but please don't come to my box and chat nonsense, because I will not be happy. But I do appreciate your opinion, okay? I do. Seriously, guys, I do. Bye.